How's it going, gamers? It's Chongo here, and today I've got a first look for you guys. I'm going to be having a look at Sunset Overdrive on the Xbox One, so let's get into it. So first off, I finished my exam, so I'm going to be back making videos at a more consistent rate now, so look forward to more videos. Now, I got the Sunset Overdrive Xbox bundle when it was released last week, and I've been enjoying the game quite a bit so far. It's kind of a different game. Like, it's quite hard to explain it in an easy way, but one way you could say is it just feels a lot like Tony Hawk, and you just shoot mutants at the same time. And that works really well for a game like this. At first, it took a while to get into the fact that like the mechanics of moving around aren't just an extra thing, you are meant to use them. And it gets a little bit weird because you think, oh no, maybe I can just walk around, but you know, if you're not bouncing off cars or grinding on stuff, you're doing it wrong. Which is kind of hard as a concept to understand, but I mean, it does give you enough variety in that, like you can, you know, be grinding on top of something, or you could be, you know, hanging off and underneath, jumping on cars, doing all that kind of stuff. And I really like the way that they pace through showing you new things to do in the game. Like after every couple of missions or something, they'll show you like a new move that you can do that'll, you know, help you to move much faster. And I did see some problems with the game, well, not really problems, but I saw some stuff that people were saying was bad about the game before it was released, saying, oh, it just looks so slow and, you know, it's not fast enough and all that kind of stuff. And I did agree that it did look a little bit slow from the videos I saw before release, but once you actually play it and you have a boost, and over time you get faster, so it doesn't really, you know, feel too slow. It starts off feeling slow, but then after you know, get your new moves, you know, what the boost is and all that kind of stuff, you're able to move a lot faster through the environment, and yeah, you just can't really believe what you're able to do. And if other people are watching you play, they think, you know, how are they doing that if they've never played the game? Because once you get the general mechanics down of bouncing off cars and grinding stuff, you're just able to do it as second nature. So enough about the actual movement mechanics in the game, I'm going to discuss the story. Now, it does seem that this game has a relatively decent story. I'm finding it interesting at the moment, especially because it focuses more on being fun as opposed to being realistic. So it does break the fourth wall multiple times, and I'm not even really that far through the game, and it's broken it many different times. And I do like how they do that, because it seems like it's going through and making fun of itself as a game, as well as just making fun of games in general.
He's really good with aerodynamics. Aerodynamics? How convenient.
So it breaks the fourth wall in a number of different ways. Some ways are a little bit subtle, and some are, you know, full on outright saying it's a game. For example, I had a mission, I had to move some scabs, which are just evil people, away from a certain area, and my character goes, oh, they'll just respawn again. So it's really cool how they can do that, and it makes the game a little bit more enjoyable, and you wonder what the next thing they're going to do to break the fourth wall is going to be. But I also like the way that it sort of, you know, makes fun of itself and other games, in the sense that, like, you are meant to be this hero that does all this amazing stuff, and it makes fun of that because of the ability of grinding. Some people say that, you know, you're somehow able to do that. It also makes fun of the fact that in games like this, you start off as an ordinary person, and all of a sudden you're just a hero, and you just become this amazing sort of person. And like, he was talking to a main character, like my character was talking to another NPC, and basically saying, oh, you're gonna come back and save us after you escape. And my guy's like, why would I? And then the other character goes, oh, of course you will, you're a hero. And it's sort of, in my mind, paints this picture of all these other games. You're just an ordinary person, then you just become a superhero, and you want to, you know, save everyone in pretty well all games sort of like this. Now on to how the game runs technically. I'm really happy with how well this game runs, especially in single player. Like, even when there's heaps of things going on, it seems to hold the frame rate pretty well. I'm pretty sure it's running at about 30 FPS if I remember correctly, although it does sort of take a bit of a hit when you go to play multiplayer, and I mean, I suppose that can be excusable or whatever, but that's literally the only problem I'm having with the game so far. Like, all the missions are enjoyable, even just collecting things, and, you know, the movement, all these small little mechanics seem to make me just want to play the game, and I don't really care what I'm doing in the game as long as I'm doing something. And the multiplayer is surprisingly fun. You go through and you do a series of missions, and then you can go into a night defense where you've got to defend these little vats that get you new power-ups and, you know, rewards for playing online. So that's pretty cool to play with, you know, 8 other players and go through and do all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm very surprised that they did decide to include a multiplayer mode for a game like this. I mean, even if this was just a single player game, it would be good on its own. I mean, all the stuff that they've got in there with the mechanics, and, you know, all these different gun unlocks that you can get, and different, you know, abilities for the guns. It's all the like little things that they've got in the game make it that much more longer to go through and complete everything and use all these guns and buy these guns. It's just quite amazing how much they've put into this game. Anyway, this brings me into my first look at Sunset Overdrive. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, and if you've got any comments about either this video or Sunset Overdrive, leave them down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. I'll see you all next time.